Saja Brito, and this is the news coming up this hour. Gambian commercial drivers say decline in ridership and imposed restrictions are pushing them into deep financial stress. Vice President in hot water after calling out Gambian youth for not taking up laborer jobs. I'll be joined later by prominent youth activist Dabah Malik and GDC NAM Honorable Omar Cisse to discuss the Vice President's statement. But first, let's begin with the newspapers. The Standard newspaper is reporting that the Gambia Armed Forces tackles ex-General Bojang and Barrow orders a tax deferral for businesses to sustain COVID-19 losses. And Gambians must not be complacent despite only one active COVID-19 case, says Dr. Samate. And UDP says law reforms are slow in the Gambia. Let's take a look at some of these stories in detail. Gambia Armed Forces tackles ex-General Bojang. The Gambia Armed Forces has said comments made against its command by retired General Lamin Bojang, who is the presidential candidate of the Gambia Action Party, have the potential to incite hatred and division within the military. Retired General Lamin Bojang recently alleged, among other issues, that most of the soldiers in the Gambia Armed Forces are demoralized, that the reinstatement of ex-convicts was a reflection of the leadership deficit in the armed forces, and that the former CDS Kinte favored Mandinkas. Reaction to the criticism in a statement shared with the Standard, Gambia Armed Forces countered. The Gambia Armed Forces wishes to state that the remarks made by GAP leader, retired General Lamin Bojang, are rather unfortunate and have the potential to incite hatred and division within the Gambia Armed Forces as well as the nation at large, and could have far-reaching implications on national security. Barrow orders tax deferral for businesses to sustain COVID-19 losses. President Adama Barrow announced yesterday that his government has decided to defer the tax returns of over 200,000 businesses for 2019 from the first quarter of 2020 to the second quarter as part of measures to help them sustain their businesses. The Gambian leader made the pronouncement while launching his government's COVID-19 food bank at the Makati Square in Banjul. Gambians must not be complacent despite only one active COVID-19 case, says Health Minister Dr. Amadou Lamin Samate. Health Minister Dr. Amadou Lamin Samate has warned Gambians against complacency after revealing that the country now has only one active COVID-19 case. He was quoted as saying, "We now have 95 persons on a quarantine, one active case, and no probable case. We, however, wish to appeal that we should not be complacent just because we have only one case. There is no room for complacency." Minister Samate told journalists Friday in Banjul. He further contended that it is very important that we still maintain the hygiene procedures, the social distancing, and the wearing of the mask that we have been advocating for. UDP says law reforms are slow in the Gambia. The United Democratic Party has said there is not much to celebrate on the occasion of the 50th anniversary of Gambia's attainment of Republican status, as the legal architecture that enabled former President Jammeh to repress Gambians for 22 unbroken years is still in effect. They were quoted as saying, "We are hoping that the laws that made it possible to cut life short, which means killing people by Jammeh, will be completely repealed and taken out of our law books, starting with the Indemnity Act that the former regime has put in place." UDP's Alma Metal told the Standard newspaper on Republican Day on April 24th. COVID-19 pandemic exposes leadership deficit of government, says Dr. Ismaila Cisse. Political science lecturer Dr. Ismaila Cisse has said the coronavirus pandemic, which has wreaked havoc across the globe, has exposed Barrow's government's lack of foresight to provide leadership in times of crisis to ensure the health, economic, and social well-being of Gambians. Cisse, who is the interim leader of the Citizens Alliance Party, was speaking at the launch of his party's COVID-19 relief package to support vulnerable families and small businesses cope with the economic effects of the pandemic through cash support. He said the government's struggle to provide leadership and usher in proactive measures to prevent and contain the spread of the virus and its dire economic implications laid bare their inadequacy and incompetence. That's all from the Standard newspaper. Let's now take a look at the point. The Point is reporting that Barrow launches over 700 million Gambian dollars COVID-19 food aid, and Finance Minister begs for time to submit 143 million breakdown to a Parliament. Let's look at those stories in detail. President Adama Barrow on Sunday launched government's COVID-19 food aid worth over 700 million Gambian dollars. The ceremony was held at the Makati Square in Banjul. The government intends to distribute 360,000 bags of 50 kg of 100% broken rice, 50 kg bags of sugar, and 10-liter drums of refined cooking oil to needy Gambian citizens across the country. Finance Minister Mambourou Njie begs for time to submit 143 million breakdown to Parliament. Finance Minister Mambourou Njie has requested for additional time from the National Assembly's Finance and Public Accounts Committee to submit the expenditure breakdown of the $143 million that he announced last week. Responding to the questions from members of the committee, Mambourou Njie also said the government has received a soft loan of $1 billion from the International Monetary Fund. Mambourou Njie told lawmakers the money was released to the Ministry of Health based on their request from the $500 million of the COVID-19 special funds. He said out of the 143 million, 100 million was given to the Health Ministry to purchase an ambulance for the North Bank region of the Gambia and medical equipment, while the $43 million was spent on local expenses such as hotel accommodation, feeding for the quarantine, which he said were all itemized. Barrow pardons some 115 prisoners. As part of measures to curb COVID-19 and decongest prisons, His Excellency President Adama Barrow, in exercise of his prerogative of mercy, has immediately pardoned some 115 prisoners. 78 of those inmates were from the Mile 2 Central Prisons in Banjul, 24 from Jeswang Prison within the Kanifing Municipality, and 13 from Janjambre Prison in the Central River region. That's all we have from the newspapers. Let's take a break and we'll be right back. Welcome back. The coronavirus pandemic has had a significant impact on public transport in the Gambia. Continuous decline in ridership and government's restriction during the crisis have pushed commercial drivers into what they describe as a deep financial stress. The Fatu Network was out on the streets where we spoke to some commercial drivers to see how business is going.
Affaire business bi ñepp xam nañ la virus bi fu nekk la adina bi yeb la so fu mu nekk ne business bi mom nekkul di dox doxul de wax dëgg yàlla doxul te ba pare ñun gaay wax dañ wañi pass bi wa wañi pass bobu non ba pare wañi nañ fuel bi way da nga gis ne léegi sa ñe dañ dé duga ñu insist ñi la xam ni way sa way pass bi la $8 so da nga gis ne yow da nga eb léego nga eb ben client ko da nga eb nga jóge fu sori so mo da nga am yeb ak sa boss so bété fuel bi suñ ko mëna wañi bu baax daf ñu fébo lolu moy problème business bi mom doxul fu nekk la doxul ñun taxi driver nekkone taxi driver nekkul van driver ko so sété be set su fekkee yow amulo sa moto bopa so nga ñëw taxaw from cooperative be brikama ya ngee eb lo xamné fébo la ya ngee lakka sa fuel amul jëriñ borom moto bi dafa dem mo fogné ya ngee lekk xaalisam fekkee lekkulo xaalisam bi so da nga gis taxi taxaw fini yépp ñun ñëpp ci loolu lañ nekka ne taxaw de bi ci suba léegi do am li nga jox sa borom moto bi mu ne ki mu ngi lekkal suma xaalis fekkee dema nonu so ñepp xam nañ la bété doxul so dañu wara dimbali tamé ñun driver yi dañu sona ñepp sona business bi fu nekk ku nekk ngay sona ya ngay gis té bé paré government tam dañu wara dimbalat nit ñi bu baaxa baaxa lolu dal man loolu la am tamel pour ñambass tuti so sédé bé affaire bi doxul dé waaw soo amee sa moto bopp sax sa moto bopp si boppam sax doo mën a doo am dara doo denca sa moto bi su paanee sax pour defa ko daf dee nekk problème soo dañu war a dimbalante ba te affaire bi dafa des soo government nañ gën a wàññi fuel bi nañ ko wàññiwaat bu baax a baax a baax a baax.
waaw xanaa miti rek miti moom def na ko moom parce que lii moo dimbal daal mooy comme que wàññi ne passage yi gars yi wàññi ñu gasoil bi at least du mën a kooba yëpp waaye dina am lu mën a wàññi ñu mën a continuer business bi waaye xam nga léegi fu ñu toll nii moom soo gisee oto yëpp a ngi taxi yëpp a ngi taxaw sax di xaar temps loolu la because ñetti client yi amul benn yu si yow soo ko ebee daw ak moom aide la si soo loolu du business parce que business moom li si gën dëgg mooy business bi nga xam ne da nga am profit waaye soo amul profit nga loolu du business problème bi daal mooy ku ne understand ne corona bi problème la waaye lii lu nguur gi li moo def mooy wàññi ne passage yi nañu wàññi gasoil bi at least xam nga dalasi moom loolu nekkul wàññi $50 la ba léegi war ni tamit something butut at least bu ko indiwoon ay boori $40 sax mu tane loolu kon da ngaa gis ne client yi yenn coono yi ñoo dañ yëpp duñ ko rek parce que waaye soo gisee ñu ngi eb di wàcce di dog paas yëpp gasoil bu seer bi la
ntol bi janne de boy mbe ala bato kanay no because ñing coronavirus bira fundita nan jan boy kol be lori ne kol be manere ne ya understand so kon tol taxi driver no because bring your kilim bondi moto kono ya understand so amantol favor ya understand so after gasoline inada tala imana fe on fen tala je na manke only dalasi yala o manke talarti ya understand o mantol favor hani janni jay no so kol be kolari bakale no comme lafta la nyame no ya understand no kol be manere mbake versement fam pour ka soto lingol kono aka fenkele no aka kolya bakale no because ni go be verse la comme like 500 600 e ka dawolto ne bukan $100,000 so pour ka soto is big problem no e buka soto no ya understand so e debe mene dila mototio la e debe mene soto la anin yalon anu fay se fen samba soko no because yalon dimbabe soko no soko family ti on ton mu family ti oliti no you understand so broka fem samba soko no o be ka kole an to bulo kono yalon o mandi ay no so man sakunda nyanta trale ya jubene ko tala mole no you understand na tra gazolo ni nyanta jindi la ya jindi fo dal fo aka nyanta kanya na dami man ni gol ka fo nyaadi so kana nyo fa nyo kana so fa so kana nyofa ya understand coming for so wala nyanda kala no because ko karanta karakele ne la you understand yeah
sis right now fum nekk ni business is dafa over them down because lolo waral taxaway bu metti bi yeb because da nga gis ne ñetti client yi nga dé epsa légolé pour nga am ko sax daf dé nekk problème depuis coronavirus bi bu ñëwé ba légui ken mënta liggéey boo xamantene liggéey bu correct fum nekk ni am nga rek lu ñëw wax mooy borom auto yi sax légui am nañ understanding sax da nga gis borom auto sax da nga loko yobul rek du ko dé xép dafa xamné waaw légui time bi mom affaire ci ne ko di dox luñ am rek lañ dé yobul borom auto yi la ngay gis auto yi ëpp doole bi yëpp ñu ngi daw empty client amut waaw ko wax mu ne coronavirus ken dugatu taxi légui pare ñeta sax pour am ko sax légui problème la da nga wut client be sona so sété be sét taxaw bi sax moko gën
légui dafa gisé fuel bi nak ak dalasi buñ ci wañi
fuel bi lolu mom nga lolu mom amul ben jëriñ dalasi buñ fa wañi non ñun gisuñ fa wañi sax because ñun luñ daan jënd normally lolu lañ dé jënd ba légui wañi bi mom amul luñu ben jëriñ because yow ya ngay wañi fuel dalasi bobu nonu gisuñ fi dal ben jëriñ amul jëriñ mom dalasi buñ fa wañi fu mu nekk nii su fekkoon wàññi dafa waroon a am government bi dafa waroon a jënda 0.5% bi yëpp government bi daf ko war a jënda bu ko defee xam nga léegi beneen half bi boobu mu nekkal loo xamante ne mu driver ñëw
affaire business bi
Welcome back. And now, Gambia's Vice President, Dr. Aissatou Toure, in hot water after sharing her frustrations that Gambian youth do not like to take up laborer jobs. The VP claimed the offloading of the coronavirus relief packages is being done by foreigners. Let's take a look at what she said, and then we'll be right back.
As you can see, labor was a challenge. You will find that most of the young people who are offloading and uploading are not Gambians. And this is a bitter experience that I have seen as a vice president. When I listen to the radio and TV, what I hear, the young people and people complaining about unemployment for the young. And for the last 2-3 days, we have been looking for laborers who can come and be paid. It's not that they are not going to be paid, but there is hardly any Gambian who is here. All these people you are seeing uploading and offloading are Guineans, Malians, Senegalese, or Sierra Leoneans, and other nationalities. You see, so this is a big surprise. To say that there is no job, this is a great job. The amount of work that these people are going to do, they're going to earn a lot of money here, and they will also, this is dignified, but it is a difficulty. That's why it is taking time, because the numbers are not much, and therefore we have to do with the number that we have.
So, Madam Vice President, so
TAF Africa Global is proud to launch the Moria Gardens, conveniently located in Bruford, 5 minutes off the Bruford Highway. Moria Gardens is set to comprise of 20 fenced and gated service plots with sizes ranging from 264 to 420 meters square. Unique features include water and electricity infrastructure, solar street lights, all-weather roads and scenic gardens. We offer a 10-year mortgage plan with a 25% equity down payment in partnership with GT Bank, Trust Bank and EcoBank. For more information, please contact 376-2333 or 776-2333 or visit our offices at Madiba Mall at Taft Bruford Gardens, opposite 5-Star Hotel.
Welcome back, and that was the excerpt from Dr. Aissatou Toure's statement. And now I am joined by two gentlemen. One does not understand the fuss behind her statement, and the other things, it is time to probably keep it quiet. Welcome to the Fatu Network News Review, Dabah Malik.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure always to be back.
And welcome, Honorable Omar Cisse.
Thank you for the invitation.
Omar, why are you offended by this statement?
If you listen to what the Vice President actually had to say, the realization of this so-called animal we call democracy is as a result of the young people. The young people risk their life for tooth and nail to ensure that we end dictatorship in this country. And one of their campaign promises was actually the young people will be empowered. There will be job opportunity for the young people. So today, at the end of the day, the pace or the office that the Vice President is occupying is just an honor and a privilege. She is not the most competent person to occupy that space. So at the end of the day, if you are given the privilege and the honor to occupy that political space, you must not say things at the end of the day that will undermine the will of the people. You must not say things that will actually undermine the mind of the people or the wisdom of the people. Having the second person in command in this country saying offloading and uploading of bag of rice, sugar, and oil is a job creation for the young people. That is just very unfortunate. And I don't think this is what one can call a job opportunity for the young people. Here we are talking about how can we create the opportunity, how can we create the avenue and the conducive environment to ensure that our young people acquire the skills. Here we are talking about those that actually have the academic requirement, those that actually have the skills. How can we engage these people into the productive sector of the economy? How can their job be lucrative? But you don't call this 1 day or 2 hours job creation for the young people.
This one is a bit complicated, and I am personally iffy about this. But Dabah, what are we dealing with here? Is this a reality? But then we are dealing with a country where it is hard for them to accept certain things, especially when it's said by certain people. What do you think? I think the context matters here.
Yeah, for me, I think I don't see anything wrong with her statement, to be honest with you. I think it's about time Gambian stops politics and focus on real issues. Because these are things that we see daily, and I totally agree with Omar. It becomes the responsibility of government to create jobs for citizens, and offloading of those bags of rice one day might not be necessarily a job. but I think it could go a long way in giving these young people opportunities to, at least to create something for themselves. Because if you look at those, what is happening currently, and I think, I am not in the mind of the vice president, but I think when she was talking, she was not referring to those people with PhD degrees. She was not referring to those people who are graduates. Probably she was referring to those people who have no education and they don't have any skills, but are out there sitting down and doing nothing. Probably those are the people she's referring to, because I don't think the vice president will look at somebody with a PhD degree or a master's degree to say, this is the kind of job we want to offer to them.
Yeah, but even with those kind of people, the unemployment is like at a very high rate right now.
But that's what I'm saying, and those are, and that is my problem with Gambians. When we want to dissect issues, let's look at issues and not the personality. Because here we had an opportunity to debate on issues, but we are focusing too much on what the vice president said. I did not agree with her body language. I did not agree with her temperament. But
the tone and everything.
But what she said is the real truth. Let's just be honest, because we want to build Gambia, we must be honest with ourselves. We cannot just come out here and, okay, you see all these political parties even in opposition right now. There is no single political party in Gambia that has given you an agenda that when they come to power, these are the number of jobs they will create for young people, and this is how they are going to go about it. It's not happening.
What is your party's plan for the young people?
All what they keep saying is, young people are not employed. We know that. We know that young people are not employed. And now it becomes the responsibility of government to create opportunities for these young people. But those people also in opposition must be ready to sell to Gambians an agenda, or to sell to young people that this is a program that we have. If we come to government within 3 years or within 5 years, we are going to create this number of jobs. And in these sectors, like, for example, agriculture or in the skills sector, these are the number of jobs we are going to create, and this is how we are going to go about it, and this is the remuneration that we are going to get. But to tell us young people are not employed, everybody knows that. We know, like, that, a lot of young people are not employed in this country. We already know that. But now what we should focus more on, we should focus on issues of how are we going to go about creating meaningful employment that is going to remove those young people who are not employed into the productive sector of the economy.
Is he correct to say that, all of the political parties have no clear-cut idea on how to remove the burden of unemployment on Gambian youth?
Well, I disagree with him strongly. The fact that I just want to condemn the statement of saying this is not political. See, you must understand the term politics. Every aspect of life that anyone is engaged in has some elements of politics. And it is the politicians who are deciding on this policy and this program. Who is more of a politician than the vice president? Who is more of a politician than the president? They are all considered politicians. So as a result, every aspect of life that any individual has to engage in has some elements of politics. And that's the aspect we are referring to here. So the idea is not about whether the vice president was referring to those with PhD degree, those with skills. People who are without skill, it is the duty and the responsibility of the government to ensure these people are engaged. The avenue is created, the platform is created for these people to be trained how to acquire those skills and utilize them into the productive sector of the economy. This is what we are talking about. It does not matter whether you are a PhD degree. It does not matter whether you acquire the skill already. It does not matter whether you are without any skills, because not every individual is academically sound. So as a result of that, everyone must be involved in this process. Together we try to see how best we can create the opportunity so that the young people can be involved into the productive sector of the economy. Here, political parties, I cannot speak on behalf of the other political parties, but the number one key thing that the GDC is actually talking about is youth and women empowerment. And the way we plan to do this is to have that human capital set up. There we are ready to have these young people engaged, to build up their capacity, to ensure that at the end of the day, they are patronized in this country. Could you imagine in this country, if you claim that you are helping the young people, and these young people, they are trained, they are given skills, they are producing products in this country, items, table, furniture, what can call it. And at the end of the day, the government who claims that they are helping the young people, they are not patronizing those individuals, but instead they have to go outside there and purchase some of these items that are produced by our young people in this country. What are you telling the young people? So the human capital must be built, and this is what actually the GDC plan to do as a political party if we are in government. This we are already doing, and we are in the process of doing it. Because we have so many young people who are sent to the university to follow their study. We have so many young people who are sponsored at MDI, and we have other young people who are also empowered in the form of cash to enlighten or to empower the area in which they are involved in carpentry and so on. So this is something that we are already doing. So why not the government, who is actually giving the revenue of this country, to explore, to ensure that the young people realize their potential?
Daba, why do you think people are offended by this statement? Why do you think? Because, I mean, we are in a country where people don't like to do certain jobs. Sometimes people say, okay, I have to travel first, or I don't want to walk. I want to travel. But then you travel, and then you realize you are doing jobs that are much more worse than laborer jobs. Why do you think people are offended by this statement?
I think it has more to do with our social mindset, like the way we think and the way we reason as a people, you know. And to tell you the truth, you cannot get a more dignified and satisfied job than someone using his or her own labor to sweat for what they earn at the end of the day. You see, the truth is, we can sit down here and blame government and say whatever we want to say, you know. We can call out government, and I believe they have the primary mandatory role to, you know, create the necessary environment for young people to excel. But the truth is, no matter what policies we put in place, if the determination and the zeal and the hunger is not there for young people to go out there and strive, those policies will become meaningless. You understand? And it's, I understand what Omar is saying, but I'm telling you, you are in opposition right now. Tomorrow you may become in government. Probably I pray 2021 GDC comes into power.
No,
listen to me. Just let me come.
Hold on.
It's not about when
let me come.
We are in the process of doing some of these things.
Omar,
we are talking about.
Omar, you see, when you are doing something, you need to go there and then take stock of what you are doing. Is it paying dividend? You understand? Because I see a lot of people will talk about this thing. We have civil societies that have been out there advocating for women empowerment, youth empowerment for years. They are receiving funds, millions and millions of dollars. Have the lives of our people changed since independence up to date? No. You understand? So it means what we are doing is not the right way of how we should go about this. And now it becomes a collective responsibility. Not only government, me, you, and everybody must sit down. We must hold government accountable. What I'm saying is, today you are in opposition, tomorrow you may become the government in power. You understand? So when you try to advocate for things, be fair enough, because tomorrow you might be in that same position, and then you come, reality will hit you hard, and now you come to understand the reason why your predecessor was not able to do this. What I'm saying is, number one that we need to work on is to change the mindset of Gambians. You see, when I made that comment, or I am even seeing people are making posts, why didn't you call your farmer? I have done porter job. I live in Barra. I have done that. And that is what I've used to pay for my school fees. My brothers are out there, probably they may be watching. I've never, since 1997, I've never gone out to any family member and say, give me a butut, or a friend, or anyone else. You understand? Because that is what I believe. And that is what has propelled me today to the level at which I am. To be able to dictate what I am supposed to do for myself. We tend to, so most of the time we blame government. I can give you a clear example. I saw a young Gambian, and probably I can even invite him so that you can invite him here. He's a young Gambian, a very active young person, very handsome. He could have just sat down at the corner and said he was not going to do this. But he bought some stuff and he was going around selling. He came to my office. I saw him and I saw the person in him. I had a conversation with him. And I realized this guy he has passion for business, but he doesn't actually know what business is all about. And what are the funding opportunities that are available for young people in this country. I had a conversation with him. I referred him to Empatech. They gave him an entrepreneurship training. After that, he was able to have access to funding to close to $300,000. You understand? And today, his life he has transformed his life. Instead of going out there to beg for anything or to ask for something, he was going around selling. But today he has shop, and then, you know, he's trying to grow his business and then go, maybe in the next 2-3 years, that guy would be something else.
Like you said, people are already commenting saying, why didn't you call your family? And people are also actually saying the same thing to the vice president, like, why didn't you bring your sons to go and offload the rice? What do you think of those statements?
Yes, definitely. I am even surprised with the Dampa saying, whether Dampa...
No, it's not
Okay, good. Him saying that whatever policy, whatever program that we might come up with, at the end of the day, it might not work. I'm not saying
it might not work. What I'm saying is, When you are doing something, you have to go and revisit it, evaluate it, and see the impact it is making.
And that's the most important, that's the more
Yeah,
reason
that's what I'm saying.
more reason why the government should come up with a holistic plan.
I totally agree with you. I totally agree with you.
Just allow me to complete.
He's saying the government should come with a holistic plan, but make sure you also have a holistic plan. So when you are in government, we don't have situations like this.
I think I already made emphasis on this. If you see, we are taking our own resources. We are contributing our own resources as a party to implement them or utilize them on the young people and the women of this country. So I don't see the reason why, if we are in government or if we are entrusted with the fund of this or the resources of this country, I don't see the reason why we cannot invest that resources on the same people who gave us the resources. This is logic. This is something that we can do. I think the point here is the government should be able to go out there and have a holistic study about the young people, collect data of the young people in this country, those that are involved into something, those that are not actually having skills, and those that are not actually working at all. How in category can they have these people involved? How in category can they have these people in one way or the other having their life change, have their easy way of living, one can say. There we can understand. But in as much as the government is entrusted with the resources of this country, we expect them to engage the young people, and the way they can engage them. It's not about having 2-day seminar. It's not about having 2 days training to claim that you are empowering the young people. Okay, now that you have empowered the person, you train the individual for 2 days, 1 week. At the end of the day, there is no resources for that individual to go and explore or to expand that business. How do you expect that individual to do something in this country? Even whereas you have given loan to that individual, the individual is doing carpentry or whatsoever. At the end of the day, are you there to purchase? Are you there to buy? Are you there to patronize the individual, the product that individual is producing in this country? This is actually that we are talking about. So, if you are calling on the young people, how? What strategy do you use? How do you approach the young people? How do you want them to do this work? This is not a lasting solution. So are we waiting every year if we have such situations like this? That's the time the young people will be called and given such an opportunity? This is definitely embarrassing to the young people. And I was not expecting this from the Vice President as the second person in command in this country.
Okay.
It's just unfortunate.
Let's cease fire before my head tie falls off. We went out to the street and we spoke to some Gambians who also reacted to the Vice President's statement. Let's take a look at that and then we'll be right back.
It doesn't make sense because at the end of the day, where did you put the job advertisement? How are we going to know it's a job of that nature available? And at the end of the day, you want us to work for 1 day, 2 days? How long is it? I mean, like, you can't find something that's going to last. We want something that you could work continuously at 9 to 5, 5 days a week. But you want me to come break my back for a day that I don't even know that it existed? And at the end of the day, man, we're suffering, sister. You know, if all you can think of us is general hard labor as a nation, the way we headed, we're doomed. You know, would Aïssatou Touré and all these bigger heads, will they let their kids do that? Ah, sister, yow bu de yow fii xam nga fii su la gisee ngay def yenn façon ngi liggéey sa xeeb neen la. You know, te nekkul ne dooy ren bañ liggéey. Fii dafa métti sister, yow da nga bana koo xam nga dugga si pan bi. Dëkk bi kañ nga gëj a dégg woot bi raba. It doesn't exist anymore. Fii doo musa comme time bu it was hope. Da nga eewu suba. Boy, we entrepreneurs. Looloo tax ñu ne raba. Mairie sax dañ laa ne raba. Waaye léegi kenn du raba. Looy raba. Da nga gisul looy mën a am nga looy mën a make move or anything like that. Yow create loo what employment. So yow depuis bi nga fi toogee 3 years yow loo mën a xalaat rek mooy naka la tuddaate pour lu dem job hard labor. Yow bu gaay di def pax yi nii pax yi bu ko gaay di gas advertising pour Gambian youths pour li fi te paani pax yi lu ko gaay doon gasee ay so am na ñoo xam ne they will make it $800 a day. Yow soo ko waxoon youth si Gambia but you gave these people this contract ñoo ñoom nooy def contract bi they bring their own employees and stuff like that. When you can get employees from over here, I guarantee you, ñu gas pax bi yëpp 90% of them were foreigners because we're not given that opportunity. You know, fii soo demee si raba ndoo yu bare fii la ñefe ndoo yu bare bëgg a liggéey waaye fa la noo utee liggéey nga bëgg ma ñëw di liggéey $2,000 si amoon every day loolu lay fay pass di dem liggéey pour fay pass lekk just pour ne maa ngi liggéey sister loolu tam nag yombut de. You know, fii amee bëgg ne doo liggéey waaye ñaaka liggéey a fi nekka. Wow, so in
relation to the Vice President's statement, I'm sure people are echoing it all over the country, and there are a lot of rumors going around, circulating in social media, talking about why should the vice president utter such statement, pretty prata, you know. My own take on this is just simple. I believe, on one hand, she may be right that some of the youths don't actually want to be engaged, because if you see the country right now, a lot of things that people are doing are being actually done by foreigners. So our own people, on one hand, seems to be sidelined because they are not doing what they are expected to do sometimes, because we take certain jobs for granted. We don't want to be seen doing casual works, which I believe she may be right to say that. But on the other hand, if you look at it also, the pay of such jobs does not actually give people the motivation to come and venture into it. And that is why I believe to carry bags of rice and at the end of the day you have pain in your neck or experience some body pain and you don't have the proper payment also, maybe some of the reason why people don't actually want to venture into such things. But for me, I believe she had her reason, or she had good reason to say that Gambian people don't want to work. I know of many people who don't want to actually engage themselves into petty works that other foreigners are doing. And you know, this country, we are heavily dependent on aid, and that is why we need to also carve some.
It doesn't make sense, because at the end of the day.
Welcome back, guys. Daba, you heard what the guy said. So when you munta dimale, bulen you has. What do you think?
And everybody knows that, like, God would be there to provide us for our survival. You understand? But why do we wake up every morning to go out there and struggle to make ends meet? We could have just sat down in our homes and said God will provide for us, like He did for the people of Israel. But that is not happening. So the truth is, for me, my take is, if we want to have a frank and honest discussion about this, we will blame government, but we will blame ourselves also as young people. You understand? Because no matter what kind of policy is put out there, no matter what kind of opportunities are put out there, if we look low upon certain jobs, then we must be ready to get that education and that qualification to be able to handle those positions. And that is the reality. And no nation would be built with white-collar jobs. We need blue-collar jobs also to develop this country. We need skills. You understand? So you cannot just say, because I did not sit in an office, I am not going to take any kind of job. You know, if you don't have the qualification or the required skills to do that job, you don't expect government to just employ you because you are a Gambian young person that needs to be employed. You understand? That is not possible. So from my take is, if we want to develop this country, we the young people must be ready to take up our education seriously. We must be ready to take up skills training seriously. We must be, we must be ready to have that hunger in us to succeed as an individual. And then with the right policies, the right opportunities, with the right coaching and guidance, we will be able to build this country. But without that, we can all make statements and say whatever we want to say about Gambia.
Before we go, Omar, if you listen to what this gentleman is saying here, it's a clear indication that this government actually have no blueprint for the young people in this country. There is no document in place, there is no plan in place, there is no comprehensive study as long as the young people are concerned. The fact that the vice president is calling the young people to come and upload and offload, where were you? Where were your colleagues, those that are in the Baro youth movement?
Am I
One will call it. So these are
are you Baro youth movement?
No, wait, let me clarify. No, wait, let me. No.
Somebody like me.
No, wait, let me clarify. No, I'm not going to allow you to make a statement that is not true. That is false. Number one, I am not part of Baro youth movement.
He's not Baro youth movement.
Wait, Omar, wait.
I am saying,
just listen. Not only you.
What I have to say.
No,
wait. Okay, clarify that, please, so we can move on with the discussion.
I am very serious with this thing. I am not part of Baro Youth Movement. I'm not part of NPP. I'm not part of the government. I'm not here to represent the government. I am here to speak my mind as an individual. I've seen people make comments. I didn't care about that. Baro cannot feed me and he cannot give me anything that I did not have. You understand? When I speak what I think and what I believe. You understand? It's my personal opinion. It doesn't have to be right, but that is what I believe.
Thank you, Daba. I think it's pretty much clarified. Omar, let's stick to the topic, please.
I am simply saying, no. If I am in support of something, I should be ready to be involved in that. This statement I am making. If I am definitely in for what the vice president is saying, and if I am advocating for that, if I consider that as a source or an avenue where the young people can be involved in, I will be the first person to be there. This is what I am emphasizing. Do you understand? So it's a clear indication that this government does not actually have any blueprint for the young people in this country. And it is very serious. If we are saying that young people are not ready to sacrifice or have their labor or services involved into some of these things, go to the quarry, you see the young people, what they are doing. Every morning, you see the young people loaded in trucks, going to the quarry. Go to the villages, you see the young people going out there to fetch firewood. So these are services, these are things that the young people are doing. So having said that the young people are not ready to work in this country is definitely very serious, and this cannot be tolerated by the young people. So if the Vice President has the guts to say some of these things, then the young people, they are not to accept some of these things from our authorities. It's definitely unacceptable. So I am emphasizing that in as much as we want to claim that we are empowering the young people, we must have that avenue created, we must have the platform created, we must have a comprehensive study about the young people. And how do we want to involve them into some of these things? Go to the Gambia College. How many young people are there? They have the requirement to enter into the Gambia College. How many young people do we have that actually have the requirement to enter into the university? But these people, there is no support given to them by the government. So how do we expect them to further continue with their education? These are some of the serious things that we are talking about. Those that have the academic requirement must be involved. How? We need to study that and see how they can apply or realize their potential. Those that are not actually with a scheme or skill, we have to see, bring these people together, have them involved, train them, equip them, and give them the resources to go and exploit their potential. And we must be committed to buy or purchase some of those things in this country. But in as much as we are not doing this, then there is no seriousness in Barrow's government.
Thank you very much, Omar. Before we go, what's your final?
Omar, you are a National Assembly member, and this is the dishonesty that I don't like with our Gambian politicians. No, just wait. Let me just come. You are a National Assembly member. Just wait, Omar. Just wait. What you are saying? No, just wait. Omar, just wait. Listen to me. You don't know. Don't hamlu sama diwa blangam baj sama haram hamal limo walis. What I'm saying, you are a National Assembly member and a young person for that matter. Why didn't you come up with a private member bill to advocate and bring in policies that will advocate for the interests of the young people? You didn't do that. Listen. Just wait. Listen to me. Just listen to me. Omar, wait. You are there at the National Assembly for how many years now? No, just wait. Listen to me. You are at the National Assembly for how many years? You are here. You talk about us supporting young Gambians who are creative, who are in the artisanal sector of the economy. You are here. What you put on is not shown by a Gambian. You understand? So if we want to advocate for something, we must live through it. Let's stop doing the polemics and politics of just saying things for the sake of saying it. Just listen to me. Listen to me. If you want to be an example for young people to look at you understand, and learn from you, I expected you as a young person who is there at the National Assembly representing not only the young people but also a young person yourself. You could have come up with a private member bill and come up with a project or a policy that was going to advocate for the interests of young people. You are talking about young people. No, but what I'm saying, a policy. What I'm saying, you are talking about. No, just wait. You are talking about. No, what I'm saying is, you have the. Just wait. What I'm saying is, you have the education. The budget is being prepared by the National Assembly, isn't it? Good. You are the people who will pass these budgets. Why can't you create a caucus of young youths and then engage your fellow National Assembly members to make sure when the budget comes, at least a greater percentage of that budget goes to young people or goes to programs that will advocate for the interests of young people. But that is not happening. You are the same National Assembly that is passing this.
Excuse me, let me help this individual here. I think you are trying to confuse the role of the National Assembly and the role of the cabinet. It is not my duty in any way to come up with a policy. And if let me allow you to talk. Okay. And if I am to come with a private member bill, on what basis are you talking about? Here, what we are emphasizing is the government, Adam Barrow's government, in as much as this is there and young people are not employed, we expect them to come up with certain things that will, at the end of the day, help the young people. The national budget you are talking about, go to the proceeding of the National Assembly. Every year, the budget of the young people is always less than 1%. And this is what I have been crying for. Every year, the budget item for the young people, I have been rejecting that. But the National Assembly is about majority. And if you go to the social media, you will get to know this. So this is a clear indication. Even whereas the national budget, the young people who constitute 65% of the population, they do not even have 1% of the budget. That is very serious. Are you not? What are you considering here? So that is the first start that the government should consider. The national budget comes to the National Assembly. Yes, the National Assembly, they have the duty to scrutinize that. But me being the young somebody, this is something that I have always been crying in the National Assembly. And even the last budget session, I told them very clearly, in as much as the budget for the young people cannot hit 1%, I cannot stand to approve that budget item for the young people. Because it is very serious and that 1% cannot even do anything for the young people. So what are you actually mentioning here? It is not my duty to come up with a policy.
No,
the government, I expect them, part of their agenda, if they are very serious with the campaign promises they gave to the Gambian people, they should come up with a scheme. Let them engage NYC, let them engage NYSS. They have a better understanding about the situation of the young people in this country. They will better inform them and they will come up with a comprehensive scheme regarding the young people, how they want to actually involve these people. But such statement coming from the Vice President is very unfortunate, and this doesn't actually tell well about her.
Thank you very much. Daba, before we go, what is your final words to the Gambian youth out there?
For the Gambian young people, what I have to tell you is don't listen to any politicians. The same politicians that are in opposition today will tell you this. Tomorrow, the next minute, when they come into power, the first people that they look for is their family members, people who are close to them. And that is what has been happening since independence up to date. This government is not doing enough for the young people, and I totally agree. And now it becomes the collective responsibility of young people to come together and then challenge our own interests, but not based on party lines, not based on politics or whatever. We can hold our government accountable by being examples of ourselves. But if you want to go and support a political party, you have the right to. But I am telling you this, and history will always judge us. What Omar is saying today, if GDC comes into power, probably even for you to have Omar here for an interview would be a problem.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Daba. Omar, before we go, what do you have to say?
Well, Domfa, I totally condemn.
Daba,
I totally condemn what you are saying. I am supporting the program and policy of a political party, not an individual. And the first thing that I do consider in terms of politics is the interest of the Gambian people. The people that we are supposed to protect, they are not in any way cheat or trying to cheat those individuals. This is actually what I am emphasizing. So it is very simple. I am a young somebody, as you say. I involved into politics, as I do tell the young people, and this is the message that I do send to the young people. To participate in politics, you don't need a PhD degree to participate in politics. You don't need masters to participate in politics. You don't need all other documents to participate in politics. All that you need is ideas, very sound and genuine ideas that you can send to the Gambian people, that you can send to the people we are representing. And this is exactly what I did. That is why I have to win the mind of the people there. And I stand to defend the promises that I give to my people. That is to ensure that there are good laws in this country. That is to ensure that I actually make sure that the resources of this country are utilized to the areas that they are supposed to be utilized. If actually I don't have the interest of the people, could you imagine in the coronavirus, I understand that every individual, every state, they are doing whatsoever they could to ensure that they help the most vulnerable people. With that, I have to sacrifice my salary. This is the only source of money that I have, and empower my people to the salary that I have to ensure that they are held kind of. So these are some of the initiatives that we expect. These are some of the support that we expect from individuals. So much more an individual who is entrusted with the resources of this country, we expect you to utilize that resources to the places that we are actually expected. But if that is not the case, we will continue wasting the resources of this country, and we will continue having our individual interests which I am not actually supporting in any way. So the Vice President should come and apologize to the people of this country, most especially the young people.
Thank you very much, Honorable Omar Sise, and thank you very much, Dabakh Malik, for coming through to the Fatih Network News Review today. Guys, that's it for News Review today. Do join us tomorrow for another exciting review. Thank you very much for watching, and bye for now.
So we're currently traveling around the country to explore an initiative called Tekifi, which means Make It in the Gambia. And the name pretty much explains it all. So what we're going to do is visit 3 different sites which are here to support local people in finding jobs in the Gambia.
So at the moment, we're looking at the project supported by IMVF, and IMVF started this project a few months ago, and clearly we can see that they're in the path of agribusiness, and what they're doing is supporting these women so that they can have the best of harvest by the end of the season, and also providing them linkages where they can have access to markets, which also contributes to developing the agricultural value chain.
Tantu nat ninkema flow fountain bulu jam poto kemelu lon tasanul saya na jabo samba nyana firi nga doku ni nga gadi no doku ngajo o munte nyato ta colt dol janika kui foke akata time otat at adu ma soto bad ni fi fon ni sante alhamdulillah fi fon nata gadi no be doku nga nyama mo be wulta ka doku oke anyama.
One of the most important parts in the IMVF projects is the intention to provide maintenance operations. They're really teaching them how to maintain the space. And that is the essence of what the Tekifi initiative is about, helping people to make it themselves in the Gambia. And right now we're going to visit the next project with Annabelle. We're here at the youth center in Parafeni, where Annabelle is securing job employments for the youth in the field of rural infrastructure. So right now we're about to discover how they are rebuilding the youth center using a special technology.
Right now we are making bricks called compressed stabilized art blocks. This technology is very, very important in our society because we see that in Gambia the sand mining is too much, because when you go to the beach side, people mine shining and the beach is coming nearer and we are destroying the land. As far as this technology is concerned, you can have blocks with a limited cement. Since we are employed, we see that our income earning have changed to another level. You can see my people who are working here, if you see
a closer look and see what they're doing
In the School of Chigamas, GIZ is supporting trainings in the field of TVET and business development for young people looking to create a brighter future for themselves.
dama bëgg ku nekk rek mu gis boppam place bu baax lu nga bëgg rek yaa ngi ko am te am yaa ngi yow suba dem job. It's nice. It's better than going to bar quick, kill yourself, and it's better than stealing. Like ñun guy alhamdulillah si tekit fi bi guy ñu ko bu baax ba non la wara démé.
And the result of the Tekifi initiative goes beyond its beneficiaries, who are already taking part in changing the lives of those around them.
Before, when the time I'm going to school, my legs pain me. Before I reach the school, it takes more time. So the wheelchair is very good. When I'm going to school, it doesn't disturb me. I thank Chigamba for giving me this wheelchair. Nobody needs to help me no more.